right in the middle of the day. No,
Are you?
It's cold brew, people.
Okay.
All right, no judgment. Okay. Yeah. So it's interesting. It's giving up control is for me personally, it's very hard. And also, I think the way I work is I am a growth hacker to some degree, and so I'm good at like quick and dirty, get something going, testing it out, playing around, seeing what goes on. I hate friction, and unfortunately in the software world is like just gobs of it. There's just so much friction, on top of friction, unless you have some squad method where it's like, but that requires so much money to be like this squad with this product manager and these 3 developers and this designer and then this customer support or success, that they are building that thing, and then this squad is building that thing, and then this squad is building that thing. Like we never really did that because we couldn't afford that, right? So it's like
for good reason.
Yeah. That's the bottleneck. But sometimes I'm like, oh well, why don't we just like, I don't know. For me, I kind of look at what's the fastest way to generate revenue type of thing. I think that's the way I look at it. But
that's how you got from 0 to 1. But you're at a revenue threshold. Like if you're like an investor or whatever, and you're looking at like revenue thresholds, you've gotten through like the hardest part of it. So now like the next phase is team, and having that team take you beyond that. And I think, but for you to build a software product, bring on thousands of customers, have them pay you every single month, that is not easy. Like that's not easy. But you did that.
Right.
But now the next level of that is having your team kind of take over. But I think and this is what I've always been fascinated with, the way that you grew the company was through you built a strong personal channel. You built a lot of JV relationships. You were always out there, and then you got into people and processes, and then you stopped doing that initial thing that was working, that brought in all that audience. But but if you did all of it at the same time, you probably would have been at 10 million right now.
Yes. I should not have stopped the flow.
But it's hard. But it's super hard if you're bootstrapping to do both simultaneously. Like now that you have the infrastructure, it's much easier. Which is why we're doing this, right? We're like combining, to get back to where you were at there, to have focus to take you there.
Yeah, 100%. I think that I'm having internet. Oh no, I see what the problem is. One of my computers is dying.
Okay. Uh-oh. Well, we'll still be here. You can use the same link. I'm sure it'll bring you back in. But yeah, I mean now I guess this computer officially died and is officially out. But yeah, that's kind of been the model of when companies are at when they're going from 0 to 1 and then 1 to X. So 0 to 1 is called from 300 grand probably at this point, 500 grand or less. Once you get to that point, that's just like figuring out what the channel, what the product market fit is, because a lot of people will keep pushing and they'll keep just kind of driving to get and figure out, well, am I good on the marketing side? Am I good on the one-on-one direct side? Am I buying myself a high-paying job where you have to go through and sell a job, get a job, and then if you sold the job through a direct sales channel, or if you got it from an inbound lead or whatever that might be, then you have to stop doing the thing that brought you the client. Then you have to go do the fulfillment. And then once you do the fulfillment, then you have to go back, and a month or two has gone by. You have to go pay your bills again, and then you have to go bring on another client. And I think that, and on a high level, like when you look at businesses, whether it's a Fortune 500 company or whether it's a small like solopreneur thing, the idea is that exact process of when you have a lead acquisition channel, or you've got a sales channel, or that thing that's working, you don't stop that process, because once you stop that, your momentum's going to go and slow down. But you would need to be sure that you have everything in order, and that's kind of the thing that's been, when you're talking about like influencers and individual people like selling content, or promoting something. It's like that's not super scalable, because they have to do these individual type of deals. So that's always kind of a hard thing. But Casey is back in, so I'm going to hook him back up. Welcome back. All right, you're in. So
hold on. I went from one computer to the next because one of them like crapped out. Hold on one second.
No worries.
Oh, so annoying. Let me just shut this down. Okay. So that will go. And we're just.
I'm getting some echo.
No, I'm trying to quit the echo.
All right.
Hold on. Okay. We're back. It should be all clear yeah.
You're good.
Oh, okay.
Tech.
Now. Okay. Sorry. I was gone for literally 5 minutes. Henry, what were you? What'd you do? You kept
I was kind of talking about from a business standpoint, and what individual and solopreneurs go through, of like, if you're between, let's call it under 500K of revenue, you sell a job, you find a job, you have to stop finding and selling, and you have to start fulfilling and complete the project that you sold. But you have to stop. In order to do that, you only have one resource that's actually going into that thing. But once you find that channel that's actually working, if you don't have people consistently focusing on driving that all the time, then you're losing the momentum of actually growing the company. And whether it's like for an individual person, or for a Inc. 5000 or a Fortune 50 company, it's all the same level of issues, right? And so that's kind of what I was kind of just going on about, just from our conversations. And that's kind of the big thing that we've been talking about, of like, you've got I'm stronger on having like a sales infrastructure, you've got a way better marketing infrastructure. So, but I have to always push for sales, and you always have to be pushing for more leads. So like, what does that look like? So anyways, that's kind of what I was going on about.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's always the, it's always the what's the, I think you can get a company into a place where you can get to 500,000, but then like I really believe you're right. It's all about like, how do you scale the infrastructure? Part of one of the things I think that we could have done better, or I could have done better, is staying with the affiliate game that I was doing much more of.
That's what I want to talk to you about, because you're so good at it. It's crazy.
Well, that was the thing. We were doing more with affiliates, and then I felt idea was, oh, let's now try autonomous. I don't know. I feel like that's great, but then it's not one or the other. And unfortunately, it was kind of like, where we were probably 50% reliant on affiliates or more, you know, when we were like really pushing the affiliate channel, we went from that to like 5%, right? And so
Wow.
yes, it sounds good. Okay, you know the money coming in is all yours, but at the same time, what could it have been if we had the affiliate support, you know, as well, and it was
Yeah.
a much bigger
Yeah.
channel. So I think that was one thing that I wish we wouldn't have sort of let fall to the wayside while we were continuing to grow.
Let's revisit that.
Okay, let's
I
talk
mean,
about
that's
it.
a big, I mean, well, no, I mean, as far as,
Yeah.
you know, with Kued, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what a, I mean, what a 1-2 punch. You know what I mean? You've got, if you're able to, if because the thing that worked, that was always interesting, is that you always had a lot of people early on before doing lives was like a big deal, but you were able to not have to figure out all these different acquisition channels because you got
Right.
the JV thing. The JV thing turned into something really impressive from a free trial conversion standpoint because you went through so much data to figure that out. So that was cool from an autonomous side of it. But
Yeah.
if you were to go back into the JV realm, right, if you were combining software and services or just software, um, do you like? Do you feel like you'd have to start from the ground up, or would you have to, or
Well, you know, I feel like I would have to like literally I'd have to start those conversations again and have, you know, you have to, I have to go in with definitely starting the conversations up with I know the people to talk to, you know, um, that would kind of get that going again, in that space. But you know, one thing that was helpful for me was when I was promoting other people. So like once I started promoting other people and having success with that, they were like, they noticed more, and they were like, oh, I want to promote you too. And you know, at the time I was doing a lot more blog writing personally and had a lot more kind of my own self traction. Again, this is all before, you know, kind of going more in on Easy Webinar to where, you know, I was a blogger and stuff like that, and it was fun, and you know, I had readers and stuff like that, so it was cool. But when you're doing that, it's like you're just out there more. And I definitely, you know, not only did I participate in other people's promos and was an active affiliate, but then you know, then they were promoting me, but at the same time I was also teaching and educating the list I was already building how to do affiliate marketing. So I was kind of going back to the customers, or going back to all my leads and saying, here's how you can generate sales from affiliate marketing. So if you've never done this before, I'm going to show you, here's a packet that you can get for affiliate marketing, and here's how you can really do well with it. And then from there, they were like, oh, that's how you do affiliate marketing. Okay. And so then they became affiliates because they learned how to do it. So I was kind of just, I was doing it it was more actively educating my audience on how to do affiliate marketing. Really, that helped to grow. I feel like, at least to grow the awareness that, hey, we have an affiliate program. And when you're giving someone help in terms of here's how you do it. Like I would say, hey, if you're trying to promote a software, here's what I would suggest: create a blog article, do a, you know, it was the opposite stuff. It was like do a like, what would I call it? You know, the a review, you know, like a Easy Webinar 4.0 review or something like that. And I told everybody, go do the review, tell them what you like, what you don't like, you know. You could do obviously the listicle thing. You could do Yeah, you know, there's all sorts of stuff. But my big thing was like talking about, you create a series of bonuses that can go along with whatever the offer is, you know. Have those bonuses available when they purchase that person's purchase that person's stuff through you, you know. So that was really how I was doing it. I was like, create your own bonus list, make it, especially for launches. Like if you're doing launches, it was like the person launching has a series of bonuses, right, that are available only for the launch. And then you, as a top affiliate, you come in as someone who's also going to promote them. So you're educating, but at the same time, now you have a series of bonuses that complement those bonuses.
Right.
And if they come through yours, right? They come through this page and then take action on their page, you'll send them all those bonuses as well, but they have to come through your affiliate page. And that's how you also
I got it.
position yourself as a better affiliate, because a lot of affiliates have the same people on their list. So if you have the best bonuses out of 20, 30 affiliates that are all getting, you know, that are all have the same customers, you know, on their emails, you could get those people. So, hey, before you buy, you know, Easy Webinar through somebody else's link, stop right now. I have 20 bonuses that I'm going to give to you when you take action and come through my link. I'm going to teach you and educate you. I'm going to build a webinar for you from scratch when you come in to Easy Webinar. And, you know, this is valued at $2,000, but you're going to get it when you buy an annual package of Easy Webinar. Buy that annual package, and boom, you're going to get access to these bonuses. So, like, I don't educate anybody about stuff like that, and maybe I should, you know, because it's a powerful way, because that's only going to help them generate money. And you know, sometimes, you know, it's that 1-2 punch that will help them to leverage those. So
it's like if you're a dog. It's like if you're a dog walker. You've got 1,000 dog walkers. You're all offering the same thing. Everyone knows each other in the community, but how do you stand out? It's like, well, I'll feed your dog an organic meal. I'll give your dog a massage. I'll be sure I take him on 3 walks per day. I'll, you know, send you pictures every 30 minutes in case you miss your dog. We could video chat. So it's like, now it's all about the bonuses with the offer, so you don't commoditize it. That's really interesting. Yeah. I mean, if we were to do that for, from the framing of a webinar, right? Because you're not just doing an affiliate offer. It could just be, you know, get a converting webinar offer, or create affiliate offers around. Yeah, I mean, there's basically there's a vehicle that you had that was affiliates. You were driving traffic and you were helping other people to generate revenue. But if you were to take that same framing around what you're doing around Easy Webinar, the webinar software, or Jet Video, that could be interesting, because you're really just doing a lot of educating. You're just getting in front of people all the time. That was really what you were doing.
Yeah, I think that when you take that, yeah, I mean, it's hard to do both. Like if you turn into, you know, if you become a CEO, or you become, you know, you're now trying to build the organization, you don't do as much of the boots on the ground stuff that got you there in the first place, you know. And to some degree, obviously that's important, but like, then there's also the importance of when does that need to be added back into the formula, right? Yeah. And to, you know, sometimes that's also needed. But yeah, as an example, like, okay, we have a Kued offer where we're going to build someone's webinar for them. You know, we'll top to bottom build the webinar. It's X, right? This is what the cost is, or this is what it's going to be. Yep. An affiliate might be interested in that. But also, what can they add to that would entice someone to want to come through into that?
Yeah.
As an example, let's say someone is a very good online marketer who has a lead list of people that came into that person's list because that person is really good at understanding offers and positioning offers. So if that person had all like 50,000 to 500,000 emails of people that signed up for that person's newsletter or that person's offer training, a bonus could be that they either, and I mean, whether they would do this or not, we don't know, but they either would give a course, like they'd give an offer course available to that person if they take action and get our Kued marketing package. And maybe as a part of that, we would use that offer training as a part of like how we would perform offer triage on this particular person who bought, type of thing.
Right.
Obviously for courses, it's a lot different. You have if we have a marketing course and this affiliate has another course that's a complement to that, makes tons of sense. If you're offering a service, the challenge is how much of that service goes to an affiliate who just does a refers a friend type of thing, right? It's a different thing because there's a lot more overhead that we have to consider.
Yeah.
But there's still opportunities, I think, around if it's high enough of a ticket, and if a person is if the person who's promoting it says, hey, if you give me 30%, of like 10, 20, 20,000, what I'll end up doing is I'll end up maybe coming in and help assist or coach for, an offer training. Maybe you're probably going to be doing it too, but I'll come in and maybe offer my assistance, and then I'll do an initial.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do an initial strategy session. We'll take notes. The Kued team will be there, and then they're off and running, and I come in to help and support on that first strategy call.
Right.
To them, that's a great value add. I mean, shoot, yeah, they would be down. Like if they're making, I mean, what's 3% of like, yeah, so that they're making like $5,000 just from coming in and doing a training or an onboarding on an offer, or maybe two of them, that might be of value. And then the marketing team's just running with the rest. So there may be, ways to do affiliate marketing for services. As long as it's very
software and services, right? Because it's because you have the software to tack on to the services.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. You're not only
you can lead with the software, and then you could have the services upsell for all those people because they're going to need it. They're going to need it done with you or done for you. Side, yeah.
Yeah, the done. Yeah, I'm talking about if we were to like go out and try to get affiliates for Kued right now,
Oh, I see.
Is what I'm referring to. Like, it's one of those things because it's a service. It's like you have to find someone who has an audience that has what we that needs what we have, and there has to be enough padding there, and there has to be maybe bonuses that they can position that would encourage more
for sure
of them to come in. So
yeah, I mean, for that, doing something where, like at the end of the day, everyone wants a system that's set up for them, and they have to do as little work as possible, right? So even if we were to say we'll build you out a completely done for you webinar funnel, and we can include a high level or templated or some sort of outline of their first draft, or maybe even a completely done for you beautiful webinar presentation, and put that kind of in a box for them, then that could be one offer, right? And then from there, then it's continuing to help with the services side of managing that. Because at least if they buy something, like they can use it, they could play around with it, they can make changes. It's a little bit more tangible.
Yeah.
So that could be an option.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think the affiliate game is important. I think you know, I think there's ways to re-energize. Again, it's all about the offer though, you know, like
Yeah.
again, and also like the affiliates I know, they're probably more interested in offering some one-time lifetime thing.
Yep.
More than a subscription model. Even though
We've done
subscription is, you know, recurring revenue, but still they know that cash in, they're going to get a higher, they're more interested in the cash. So it's like, you know,
Sure.
give me a no-brainer offer, you know, for your software at a lifetime access and I'll crush that. You know what I mean? So
a done for you built out system that you have unlimited access to is, you know, for the right price could be a good deal. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We should develop that. That would, because I mean, I've developed that offer out, but I've never really pushed it just because I only have so much time in a day between sales and marketing. But if we were to do that on the marketing side, that could be interesting.
Say again though, like you're talking about a done for you, like what would that look like? You said a done for you funnel one time. Is that what you're saying?
So we would have, I would look at it as different levels to it. But if you look at it, if they would have we would build in both basically the technology and the service together. So we're building everything that they need A to Z to have a completed webinar funnel, right? So what we would normally build out, you know, if we build out $15,000 or $20,000 webinar funnel, we would build that out for them. And then we can include like the presentation for that. And then the technology that's managing it, if it's at the right price, they would have lifetime access to that funnel. And then we can always do an upsell for management and services.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Oh, I got it. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely doable, or at least like even a multi-year for free type of thing.
Yeah.
And or here's the usage that you can do, right? You get it for this long, this much usage, and that usage and that length of time could be, you know, really enticing. The offer could be like super strong, you know, like, oh, I don't have to pay for the tech. I'm not, you know, when am I going to hit those thresholds? You know, maybe not ever. It's a much better deal if I do it now. Yeah. I mean, those are, you know, I think we have to think outside the box now. Like there's almost like this need for really super enticing offers that like kind of are above and beyond, you know. Thanks, Hermosi. Thanks a lot, Hermosi.
Yeah, it is his fault, I would say.
It is his fault. He's like, oh, now we need that. It's like it needs to be a $100 million offer. Okay, so like it's got to be like completely no brainer. Like offer it for $1, you know, or I'm gonna give everything to you. Obviously, you know, we have to think in a smart ways to bring that up. But yeah, I think that's the some of the challenges that we're faced with is that, you know, people want a really strong thing that they are saying, oh, I get this and this and this and this and this and this, and it's like, this is what the cost is, you know. I always think that the cost obviously needs to be really broken out too, because otherwise they don't understand the value if they don't have the value, you know, see the value. So
one of the webinars, we had a client who, you know, he runs webinars a couple of times a month, and he went on where we actually like itemized the offer and did the stack where, you know, we've got, you know, it's $80 for this, or it's $500 for this, and you're going to get it all, you know, it's kind of like a QVC. You're going to get everything for this discount price today. So we did that where there was like probably 100 people that were watching the webinar, and he did the offer and people never left. And so I kept messaging him while he was hosting to just keep going, like go over the offer again and again and again. I think I made him go over that offer 10 times, and his revenue 3x'd from that webinar because people were just sitting there debating if they're going to buy the thing or not. It's like, if you're going to sit there long enough, I'll spend enough time and repeat whatever I need to until you buy.
Yeah, totally. Just they needed the clarity. So let me repeat what you're getting. You're going to get this. This is valued at this amount, you know.
Right.
This is the this is the result you'll get from this bonus. This is the result you'll get from this bonus. This is the result you'll get from this bonus. These are this is the all tallied up. The bonuses are valued at $9,472, but you get access to them for free when you take advantage of this $1,000 course or a $2,000 course or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like a $30,000 webinar for us. But yeah, that's what happened.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, if people are still in the webinar, it's like, don't get off the webinar. Like, and you know, if people have questions, you know, still answer them. I think we get a little, you know, it is hard to want to stay on. I mean, I've said this before. One of my best webinars was a 4-hour-long webinar, you know, where I just like, and that webinar probably did $170,000 in sales just from, you know, from just answering questions. And that was a low ticket or mid ticket, you know,
it's crazy
offer. So but you answer enough of the questions where you are in there enough to support them, or you know, it's just like, eventually they pull the trigger, you know, as long as it's clear, like it all has to be super dead simple, clear. Like you have to really have it, you know, there can't be confusion. If there's confusion, no one's going to buy. If you're confused, they're not going to buy.
Right.
So, yeah.
So so I guess that moving forward, we have got to get the branding outline, because these events have to be sponsored by Kued, because I've been using this a lot and it's on my social. You know, I got some Facebook groups and YouTube channels, and whatever, LinkedIn. So we got to get all the Kued channels lined out. I know Mia's been, you know, trying to get all of that organized and set up, and you know, we're pretty close to getting to that point. I think we just need to sit down and just hash it all out on a call. But
yeah,
hopefully moving forward, everything will be sponsored by Kued.
Sponsored by Kued, you guys. And go to, we'll have a Kued.com where you guys will be able to get access to a training and some freebies valued at $500 or more. And we're you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's going to happen. And you know, at the same time, we're going to, so there was this one actually marketed the idea of case studies, right?
We did talk about case studies.
I think we did a little, yeah. Obviously case studies are really important. You know, they can be everywhere in your marketing. I like to even have them on my registration page of a webinar. I like case studies there. I like case studies. So it could be top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, retargeting with case study videos, and even bottom of the funnel, and to stop attrition. You know, like having a case study in a, you know, doing like a training where you bring in a customer or you show what they have been able to accomplish. Case studies are probably one of the most the case study stories are probably the most valuable asset that a business could have, you know, because it's customers, it's what they're doing. So it's like, yeah, man, the more case studies, like all over, top, bottom, top, middle, bottom. It's like
top, middle, bottom. Yeah, definitely.
You need them everywhere. You need them in the follow-up. I mean, that's obviously why, like, if you had a cadence around a blog, you know, blog that, you know, connected you and your customers together, and also highlighted maybe a customer every now and then. Super powerful. And then also, yeah, I mean, I just had a meeting with a funnel guy, my funnel guy, who, we went and looked at a whole bunch of videos that were done, all case study videos that, unfortunately we missed the mark on last year. I had an entirely different marketing team that was running stuff last year, and case studies weren't unfortunately used at all. Whereas case studies, I mean, that are the literally the lifeblood of
we were just talking about that today.
A marketing engine. And if you don't have them, you're going to see it, you're going to feel it, you're going to see it in your bottom line. And unfortunately, that's what we saw. So right now we're on the mend of pulling all those ads back out and getting those back up, so we have those case studies, and it's like getting back on with existing customers to check in on them and stuff like that. So I can't. The case studies are probably like the most valuable asset that you're going to have, because it's not you doing you could try to sell yourself 1,000 times over, but it's not. So it's all about the people that are using you, that are there to sell you. So
we've got, I mean, Kued's got enough of them. We just don't talk about it enough. So I think that's, and that's probably why that was probably my whole intention with wanting to do case studies. Talking about our case studies, but because we should be talking more about it in the process of how they got there, and another thing for us to add to kind of our marketing priorities for next week. But
absolutely. And also like getting interviews of those people, and doing short quick bits. I've always like passed these people up, but if anybody's offering you services where they're like, hey, we can get your case studies going, take them up on it. Like, say they're like, and if they'll like interview your customers for you or have a template and stuff like that, like that's hugely valuable. I remember someone promoted themselves like that to me at one point. I said no, and part of me was like, no, you should just say yes. Like they're only focused on case studies. I mean, I'm like, yeah, that's great. It's like a project. Like, let them do it once a year. Have them come in, crank out 20, 30, 40 case studies or something.
Right.
Or let them also, push reviews to G2, Capterra, Trustpilot, like hire someone that's sold that where their sole job is like just gathering case studies and reviews and or trying to get the audience or trying to get users to do reviews. I want that's the next push after we launch our version 2, is I'm gonna somebody solely focused on that, because that's really important.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We're doing it day by day. So cool. I got another call coming up in a couple minutes here, but any final thoughts?
Final thoughts are Rome wasn't built in a day, but and obviously the start of this, we talked about sweat equity and the ability to grow something to a point where then it needs to, somebody else has to come in and help scale it up. But I'd say, trying to find one marketing channel that's going to really work for you, that will that doesn't have to necessarily cost a whole bunch, that can help you grow exponentially. I'd say, think about the affiliate game and how you can leverage that to grow more. And also, how case studies can be the thing that an affiliate's customer or affiliate's audience will want to look at to be able to say, yes, I want that. So yeah, Rome isn't built in a day. Get out there, do it yourself, and educate your audience, and again, get on a webinar. I think that's really what
webinar.
It's all goes back to get on a webinar.
Yeah.
Talk to your audience.
Yeah.
Feedback loop. Yeah.
I heard something really interesting the other day, that most $100 million companies have one lead acquisition channel.
Wow.
If you think about that. So once you get into the billions, maybe 2 or 3. So
that's crazy.
When you're talking, and that's the thing that I always get frustrated when, because this goes back to the whole being a marketer versus an operator, is like there's so many marketers out there that just continue just to like market and market, but because they don't have that operator side, and they never will have an operator side, they're always capped for life. You know what I mean? And so that's been, it's interesting because when you look at it from like $100 million or half $500 million company perspective, when you're talking about revenue, you're talking about one lead acquisition source. It's like, well,
wow,
that should change your perspective a little bit, because everyone's trying to do everything.
One thing. I mean, but that's also scary, because like you focusing on that one channel with that channel. What if that channel goes away? But but at the same time, you're leaning in on that channel. I think you're right. I think that's a strong way to go. Government contracts. That's
RFPs.
the next big one.
Look for RFPs and the
RFPs. Exactly. Like we should talk about that, because I want to lean in on that or something.
I've done that with big companies, Fortune 50. It is hard. It's hard, and I almost closed a multi-7-figure deal through an RFP, and we were the last. I think we were down to 2. And we were the second choice.
Oh wow!
And the company that beat us out, they beat us because they were a multi-billion-dollar company. So it kind of sucked, but it's like there's a lot of competition with long sales cycles.
Long sales cycles, yeah. I wonder. I got to get good at government stuff. I had interviewed somebody for my podcast who was she was a government person. I need to talk to her again, because she had some awesome program about looking at like government codes and like doing the research for them. Maybe you already do this. Maybe you already know how to do this.
Yeah, no, there is a process. There's a whole sales process I've kind of gotten down. I can show you. I'm on the board for. Do you know who Jesse White is? He was the Secretary of State here for like 16 years, and then he just retired. So he has it's something called the Jesse White Tumbling Team, where he's helped like thousands and thousands of inner city kids get they do shows. So they have the Jesse White Tumblers, and they go all over the world, and they travel, and they do these shows, and that becomes a way of income for them to go through school and their family. And you've got to have certain you have to have, like, there's a certain threshold of you can't get arrested. You have to have at least like a 3.0 or 2.5 GPA, and you have to be in school. You've got to finish your classes. If you leave early, they're going to communicate that to the team. So it's like a full hardcore thing. And the goal was to get inner city kids off the streets, and it 100% did.
Wow.
And so, I'm on the board for the Jesse White Tumblr organization, but even though he's not Secretary of State anymore. And like, you learn a lot about the government process throughout just seeing how that operates really on like the state level. Because sometimes it's efficient, sometimes it's not, especially in Chicago.
Sometimes it's like, how many walls do you have to break through?
So I'll put that caveat there, but cool. All right, well, thanks so much. I appreciate everyone watching, and
thanks everybody.
Casey, I guess we'll talk soon.
Yeah. Same bat station.
What did you say?
All right. I said same bat time, same bat station. It's the
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
It's from the old Batman. It's from the I'm dating myself, but it's from the old school TV show Batman.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'll talk to you later.
See ya. Okay.